welcome to a book journal flip through. So I have started my first book journal. I've been planning and kind of, doing creative things with stickers for a while, but I really wanted to start a book journal. So this will be my quote unquote yearly setup. I'm actually doing everything seasonally. So my year kind of starts in December with winter. So it's gonna go as far as the journal needs to, but I'm trying to think about things in seasons rather than, this is my 2025 reading journal. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and get started with the flip through. I did set up everything off camera. I kind of do so haphazardly, so it's easier for me to just work on my bullet journal when I want to, rather than feeling like I have to get a full setup. But maybe in the future I'll do like a creation spread when the time is right. So let's get started. This is a journal from Notebook Therapy. It is a wonderful, I just got one of their A5 ones. I'll be sure to link it in the description, as well as any stickers or other materials that I used. But I do love this journal. It's really pretty. It has like really nice kind of gilded edges, and I've been loving it so far. So this first page, I literally haven't even written my name in yet. I honestly forgot that it was here, but from there I have what I think of as my opening spread. This opening spread was really inspired by Cozy with Katy. I love her book journal. It was honestly the video that I watched that finally tipped me over the edge for buying a book journal. I loved the way that she set everything up with her washi tape and the Maragona Sully art stickers. So she's just been a huge inspiration. I've watched her videos like a bunch. So you're gonna see a lot of inspiration from her, and I'll be sure to link her in the comments because I think she has a beautiful book journal. And I'll try to link other inspirations that I have as well, but she's been probably one of the biggest. So this is the opening spread. I love this sticker from Maragona Sully art. You'll probably hear me say that a million times. But as far as the other things that I included here, I of course have the main sticker from her. I have some stamps from Notebook Therapy. I used their, I think, Dark Academia set, and also like their book one. It's like the Our Stories stamp kit. These are the first time I ever used stamps, and I actually just use them with different Tombow markers, and I found that that actually worked pretty well, especially with the darker Tombows. I think it really came out nicely with this kind of like dark pink, so I really loved the way that came out. I used a bunch of washi tape from Notebook Therapy. I believe this one's from their dried water or wildflower set, and they have some other stamp rolls kind of in there as well that I used with this spread. Stickers are from Maragona Sully art, and then anytime you see this this paper here, that is just a ripped up copy of Pride and Prejudice that I bought at a thrift store. So it was like $2 and it's been great. I think I've only used like one page so far, so I'm definitely getting a good use out of it. I used just some wavy scissors to cut this edge. I love the way it looks when it opens up. This was a spread heavily inspired by Cozy with Katy. I loved the way her little wavy edges looked, so I wanted to try it here, and I think it looks so cute with the washi tape on the edges. So this is my bookshelf. I'm going to use it to just kind of keep track of what different genres I'm reading. So I have my key at the bottom. These are mainly the ones that I read, but if there's anything else, like I might read a nonfiction throughout this year and I'll figure out what to color it in with. But I had perfect space for 8 genres, so that's what I went with. And I made sure when I was drawing all of the books to have a secondary kind of spot where I could color in a secondary color, because I didn't like the idea that I would have to label something like just one genre. So I've been enjoying having the secondary colors here. So for example, I read a Clockwork Angel is the first one in the Infernal Devices. So I labeled that fantasy with historical, since it's set in, London in like the 1800s. So late 1800s. And then I also read This Is How You Lose the Time War, so I categorize that as sci-fi and romance. I do have a romantasy tag here, which I think is maybe a little bit overkill when I could just do fantasy and romance, but romantasy feels very different to me, and I thought it would be fun to flavor it with like a different thing. I don't know, I might make that color just something different in the future, but it's fine for right now. And I had a lot of fun drawing all these little books and figuring out like the different spines and stuff, so that was a lot of fun. I drew this window mainly, I think most of the colors here for the like the wood and this window were from my mild liners, so I used like my highlighters to do that. And then the stickers are from Maragona Sully art, and I just kind of colored underneath like the edge of the sticker so it looked a little bit better on the shelf itself. I might have cut that in the future, like I might cut the sticker the next time I do something like this, but I think overall it looks pretty good. The next spread, or spreads I have are for the Magical Readathon, which is hosted by G at Book Roast. I love this readathon. I haven't like fully participated in yet, but I've been like pseudo participating a little bit for a few years now, just like thinking about doing it, doing Lightfall from time to time. But I had a lot of fun putting these spreads together, and this was actually, I think, the first spreads that I did in my journal, and I love the way that they came out. This is just going to be the main page, so I have my scholar's key here. I haven't figured out what calling I want to do yet. I think I'm going to have a look at when the 2024 ones are released, or the 2025, oh my gosh, it's a new year, ones are released, so I can pick one out. I just still haven't decided. I printed out the Aurelium logo in on clear sticker paper. I have a lot of sticker paper just like lying around, so I thought that that came out really nice. And then a majority of the washi tape and like the little stamps and stuff here came from a notebook therapy set. I believe it's the Moonlit Academy set, which I think fits pretty well, but I loved how it looks in concert with like that Aurelium. And I have my character on the right side, and I have a couple others from like the Lunar Mystery washi tape set just kind of mixed in. I'm really happy, especially with this first page. I think this next one is a little bit busy for me, but I think it looks okay. So I saw Jashii, I don't know how to pronounce her name actually, really popular book or bullet journaler. I love her videos. But I loved the way, I think her name is actually like Jess, but I loved the way that she did like a heritage study for like these books that you read for where you're from and like what heritage and like ancestry you are. So I decided to make a page like that, and also for my guild after I did the novice path. So on the left I have my heritage study. So for Air Earthling, I need to read a book with an element in the name or elemental magic. So I went with Fire on High, which is a book I've had on my bookshelf for forever. So I've been wanting to read that. And then for where I'm from, I am from Carador, that's my province, which is very fun. This is very D&D-esque if you've ever played Dungeons and Dragons, so maybe that's why I like it so much. But so for Carador, I had to do something from an ongoing series, so I picked Hellbent by Lee Bardugo. And then for Urban, I needed to read something set in a city, so I picked Clockwork Prince, which is the second book in the Infernal Devices. And then I've already done the novice path, which is just kind of like I don't know, it's like a guided reading, kind of like quiz sorter, where you have to like choose different things to figure out what guild you're in. And I got House of the Arcane for my character. And for that, you can also pick out like what conduit you want. So I picked out a sword conduit, so I need to read something with Blade on the cover. I've been meaning to read Heartless for probably about 10 years now, it feels like. And then I already read A Clockwork Angel. It was the first one that I read for this. And I needed to be an ebook for my magic item, which is a pocket dimension like pocket watch, which I think is really fun. I do like the spread overall. It is a little bit overwhelming, but I think it's cute. And then I really liked how this one came out. So the novice path, in addition to being like a little guided reading, quiz sorting thing to figure out what guild you're in, you can also do the reading prompts for it. So I picked out a bunch of different ones for these. So book with a map, I picked Mistborn. A tempting book, I picked Fourth Wing. I've been meaning to read it because I love to have opinions on popular books. Standalone, I had picked up One Last Stop at a local bookshop, so I put it on here. Ghosts or Supernatural, I put The Spirit Bears Its Teeth, which looks so good. I'm really excited to read that. Thriller and Mystery, I picked, I think this is like the first like Agatha Christie with like Hercule, like the main detector. So I'm excited to read that. I've been enjoying reading Agatha Christie. It's just like on and off. Whenever I need like a thriller or mystery, I kind of throw it in. And then school setting, I picked Deadly Education, which I've been wanting to read, and a 5-star prediction, I picked Clockwork Princess because I've been really enjoying the Infernal Devices trilogy. It's the first thing I've read from Cassandra Clare, so it's been a blast. And yeah, so that's my initial Aurelium spread. I just want to read all of these books before spring semester, which is in April. If you have any questions about the the readathon, it's kind of intense, but really fun. And there's a bunch of videos on G's channel, and I'll link her channel in the description. This next spread is not fully ready because it will be the year-long readathon in Aurelium. So I had printed out last year's, or 2024's, and just as like kind of like a size reference and color reference. And I think I'll probably add more decoration once we get the one for the next year, but basically you have different prompts for the different months, and I have spots to put book covers for each of them, and I can kind of highlight which ones I do. I used some washi tape from Marigold Silly Art on the left, and then the Midsummer kit from Notebook Therapy, and some stamps as well. So some of these circles were a little off, but that's fine. They're gonna get covered up with book covers, so. All right, the spread after that is probably one of my favorites. I love this spread so much. I'm really happy with how it came out. It's my book bingo and my reading goals spread. So some of the different things that I have here, just like material wise, I have some book washi tape from Simply Gilded. I also have stickers from Marigold Silly Art. I printed off some headers for this. I just have been using Canva to print off these different headers or anything that I need printing and like resizing. I have some washi tape from the Moonlit Blush set from Notebook Therapy. And then for the book bingo and the reading goals, I just drew these elements. I figured for the book bingo, I'm just going to color it in with different, like probably various shades of pink. And I just looked at a bunch of different bingos and kind of felt this one out and just kind of put some stuff that might be a little bit harder, quote unquote, for me to get to, like something from the 1800s or earlier. I also have some easier ones like reread a book. I don't reread a ton, but I thought it might be nice to put it in there. And then some other things that might just like happen in a book, like a book with dragons, or it's set in autumn. A translated work I think is something that I don't normally gravitate towards, but I'd love to read. So there's just kind of a bunch here, and I'm excited to see what I can fill in. I actually have a couple that I think would already fit here, so that's cool. And then on the reading goals, I decided to draw these in like little vintage frames. So I just looked up reference on Pinterest and I just kind of drew them out. So the different goals that I have here is I just want to read 2 books per month. I'll probably read more than that, but I tend to read in like spurts of energy. So I'll read like 10 books in January and then not read until July, which I kind of want to avoid this year. I'd love to read more consistently. So I want to hit a goal of just reading 2 books a month, and I think that that would be really successful for me. I would love to read 12 books off of my backlist, which is another spread in here, but I just have a bunch of books on my TBR that are physical or in my Audible library, so I'd love to read that. The number one being I'm dedicated to reading Mistborn. I'm like 120 pages in and have been for a while, so it's my goal to read it. I also want to get my library card sorted. I have a library card, but I'm not sure if it's working or if I need to update or renew it, so that's just a kind of easy, simple goal to tackle in January after the holidays. I also want to read 4 buddy reads with one of my friends. So we want to read some books together, annotate them, have a little mini book club. We don't want to do something monthly. We just want to do a few throughout the year. So I thought 4 was a good number to start with. Next, I want to catch up or finish 4 different series or duologies. I have a series tracker in here, but I started a lot of series that I'm not caught up on. So that's a big goal. And then I want to participate in all of the Aurelium activities. So Lightfall, which I'm currently doing right now, the yearly readathon for Aurelium, and then the spring and fall semesters as well. Next, we have the books read spread. In hindsight, I wish I would have put this closer to the bookshelf, but this is just going to be a place for me to track all the books that I've read. I have exactly the amount of spots for books that I do have books on the bookshelf at the front. And the only things I'm really tracking here are the book name, the author. I was going to track the genre, which is why you see a G here, but I thought it would be kind of redundant since I'm doing that on the bookshelf. So what I decided to do was track how I read it, which I think will be really interesting. So audio, physical, ebook, or mixed. A lot of them will probably be audio or ebook or mixed. I don't read a lot of physical books. It's just easier for me to do the others. And then I wanted to write down just the month that I read it and the star rating. I'm still like settling on star ratings for these, so I haven't filled them in yet. It feels very permanent to put this on the spread, but I think I'll eventually fill it out as well. This is more of the Moonlit blush washi tape and stickers from Marigona Sully Art. Some stamps as well, and then I just drew that out. Next up is my series tracker, and I'm really happy with how this came out as well. All I really did for it was kind of collate the series that I have been wanting to read or am in the middle of reading and put them on a page here. I did decide to write out the names of the books because I thought it would be more helpful to me, so I wouldn't have to constantly go reference something else while we're like figuring out what I need to read next. So the different ones I have here, I've been reading through all of Rick Riordan's books. I've been a Percy Jackson fan since I was like a tween, so it's been nice to read more of them, and I'm reading through Trials of Apollo, and next I'll read through the senior year books. I've been reading Infernal Devices by Cassandra Clare for the first time. I technically did read City of Bones, but I need to like reread it or re-summarize it or read half of it again because I don't quite remember it, which is why it's half filled in here. We have Mistborn, again, which I'm in the middle of. Legendborn, which I am caught up on, and I'm eagerly awaiting Oathbound. This is easily one of my favorite YA series that I've read recently. Me and my friend really want to read the Emily Wilde series, so I included it here. Ember in the Ashes, I'm about halfway through, and I do like quite a bit. The Nevermore series is a really cute middle grade, so I'm excited to keep reading it. It's just very charming, and I like it quite a bit. Lunar Chronicles has been on my physical bookshelf for so long, so I want to read those. Same with Darker Shade of Magic and the Villain series by V.E. Schwab. I love Six of Crows and Leigh Bardugo, so I want to reread Shadow of Bone series. I want to read Hellbent and catch up on Alex Stern. And I also want to read the King of Scars duology, which I haven't read yet. And then I have the kind of wild card. I haven't read Fourth Wing yet, but I'm very interested, and I have a feeling I'll keep reading it even if I don't love it, so I can keep up on conversation, so I included it here. There are other ones that I'm reading, but I think that this is a good place to start. Next, I have what I call my backlist page. So here I just have a bunch of covers from books that I actually own and need to read. So some of these are physical books that I own. Some of them are Audible books that I've gathered over the years. Some represent a series that I really want to read this year, including or catch up on, like Trials of Apollo, Mistborn, The King of Scars, Cinder, and like those other ones that we saw over there. Some of them are standalones or books that I've been meaning to get to. I have literally had a copy of Watchmen that is my friend for years now, and I make a joke every year that I'm actually going to read it, and I think I am going to read it, but this is the year. So I want to try to get 12 books at least off of this page by the end of the next few seasons. So that's my goal. Pray for me. And I've been trying to incorporate them into any of like the reading challenges that I've been doing. So hopefully we will make a dent in this. Next, I have what I call my highly endorsed page, which is just recommended books. So I currently only have one. I thought it was really interesting that Cozy with Katy kept mentioning Fireborn as a really good kind of series, and I thought it looked interesting, so I added it here. And then I also have the genre, so I can just figure out like, oh, if I'm looking for a romance, I can read from there. We also have some stickers, of course, from like Marigona Silly Art. We have the Moonlit Blush washi tape, and the Simply Gilded up here. And I really like how this spread came out. I think it looks really nice. And then I also have upcoming releases. So these are my highly anticipated books for this year. Honestly, the first three I'm the most excited for. Oathbound is by far my most excited book for this year, so I cannot wait for March 4th. And then I also have the third Emily Wilde book. I've already kind of taste tested the Emily Wilde series just to see if I would like it enough to put on my series tracker, and I really like the writing style, so I'm excited to read the whole thing. And I'm looking forward to the third book coming out. I'm of course looking forward to Sunrise on the Reaping. I love the Hunger Games. It came out when I was a teen, so it was just kind of like perfect timing for me to love them, and I can't wait for Sunrise on the Reaping. Onyx Storm is more like, I'm interested. And these other ones, I actually haven't read an Emily Henry book, and I think it would be fun to read a romance. I don't read a ton of romance, I read a lot of fantasy. So yeah, I'm interested to see how I like it. And some of these other ones just looked really interesting to me. Mortal, Witchcraft for Wayward Girls, and A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping. The next spread that I have is the Lightfall spread for the readathon this year. Lightfall usually runs for about a week and a bit every December, so it's December 14th through the 22nd this year. And it is just a cozy little readathon for the Aurelium kind of academy. So I made like a little winterized version of my character and like the little pick crew maker. And I used some really fun winter stickers from Marigona Sully and some washi tape from her as well. I did get my nails to match her new winter collection because I love it so much. And I was really inspired by it. So I'm very happy with like the colors and the snowflakes. I have like the little passport where I stamp off once I've completed a book. And just like normal, I printed out some things or some paper to use as accent, and then I picked out all my reads. There's a bunch of stickers and like there's a bunch of logos for the different shops that you visit in the readathon. So I printed those out on sticker paper and included them here for the different prompts. So basically the premise is each different shop has a prompt, and you can complete it and like stamp off your passport when you complete it. So I've actually read This Is How You Lose the Time War for the Rich Pigeon Club, I think is the name. And then I also did catch up on the Trials of Apollo, which was one of the ones I still need to read. I'm reading Legends and Latte right now as an ebook at night, and I've been listening to the Familiar audiobook as well throughout the day. Then the last ones I have are just winter themed, so I picked an Agatha Christie for one of them. And then I also have the Blood Like Magic book for Aurora Colors. I love this cover so much, it's gorgeous. And then Give You the Chills, I bought this at a bookshop a while back, and it's called Bury Your Gaze, and it looks really fun. So that's pretty much my whole spread. I plan on doing kind of some winter spreads from here on out with like book reviews. I also have an empty spot here, which I'll probably include with some of the fun things that have been created for the readathon over the past few weeks. But that is pretty much it. We'll do a final flip through, and that will be my little flip through of my book journal. To thank you all so much for watching this video. I'm really excited to make more and make more spreads. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. And if you have any questions, leave them down below. I'll try to link as much as I can for what I've used, but again, thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye.